Well, this is one of those stories that we hear on social media. We think that it is not real. Well, I will be sharing this video because the main victim in this very story requested that people should share, and she's also seeking for an advice. Yes, I would let you listen to her as she shares her story and then drop your advice. Though at the end of her story, I'll come back to say one or two things. Meanwhile, my name is Chinyere Ojike. Thank you for your constant support. Please like my video, subscribe to my channel, and keep coming back for more. Hear her out.
Please, I need you to pay attention to my story. I've been in this country since I was 12. I've been in a few relationships, but it just didn't work. I'm not a bad person. I try my best to be the best that I can be. And I try my best to be the best that I can be with my partners that I've been with in the past. But it just didn't work. I know you can relate. So after so many years, I decided to go to my country in Africa. Because due to advices from different people, that maybe if I go back to Africa, maybe I can find someone and start fresh with the person. So I took their advice and I went there. I intended to stay for at least a month because, I have a reputable job here that I'm doing and I wouldn't want to stay more than necessary. So I intended to stay a month or at most 2 months. So I went to Africa and I met with someone. I met a few people, but, I met someone that was really an interesting person. This person was also working somewhere in Africa. They had a job that they were doing. So we became friends for a while. At the time, he was 39. He was like 2 years older than I am. And he never been married, nor have any kid, does not have any kids either. So, yeah. So we started dating after, knowing each other for a few weeks. And we started dating and I made my intention known. And he said he was also ready. That he also has been looking for someone that he could settle down with, maybe there in Africa or abroad. It didn't really matter to him. But, it looked like we had some things in common. So I ended up staying in Africa for 4 months, more than what I bargained for. And I thought it was worth it at the time. So that way I was able to know him, much better. And he was also, able to know me. So I came back here after 4 months. And we kept, the communication going. And eventually, I'm trying to cut the story short. I filed for him. He came here to join me here in abroad. So he was with me for a good 6 months without working. He wasn't working because there was no need for him to work at the time because, we're still putting all his documents together and everything. So he was with me. I live in my own house. And he was living with me. I was feeding him. I was clothing him. He didn't have to pay no rent because, he was my man. I loved him with everything in me. And he loved me too. I believed he loved me. So, 6 months. It didn't work for 6 months. I was just doing everything. It was worth it because he was my man. I will do anything in this world for the one I love. Anything. It doesn't matter. I will go head over heels with anyone. With anyone. It doesn't matter. If I love you, I will do anything with anyone that I love. And I will still do it again. But I want to put my story out there. I need advice from you. And maybe you can learn a little bit from my story. After 8 months, this man started talking to someone down the street. He started, she's also an African person. And she was married before, but she was divorced. And every time I go to work, she's just the only person I see that they talk back and forth. So I talked to him about this. I said, I didn't feel comfortable with their relationship, the way they talk back and forth. When I'm not around, they already have each other's numbers and they talk. And he just told me, no, it's just there's no string attached, no nothing. It's just like, just talking once in a while, someone to talk to around here. And the lady also say hello to me. She knew it was my man. Cut long story short, you know where the story is going. They started dating without me knowing. All of a sudden, this lady already got pregnant by my man. And eventually I knew what happened. And they came right in front of me and told me that they would do, because, I was pained, I was bitter, I felt betrayed, I felt very bad. I had to confront the lady and let her know how I felt towards the whole thing and how she backstabbed me and betrayed me as a woman. So she told me, well, it's not a big deal. Calculate every penny you spent on this guy. I'll give it back to you. I can even double it. And my man, on the other hand, was there with this lady. And you know what this man told me? He said he never loved me. That he was only with me because I brought him here. Because I helped him come to abroad. Listen, this is more than how you see it or how you're listening to it right now. I'm so pained. I'm trying to cut this story short. We're no longer together. I refused any amount they offered me. The lady that she was going to give me, she was going to double the amount. I left everything to Kama. But till today, I'm talking, it's been 3 years now. Why I'm telling you this story is that I think about it every once in a while. I'm still single, by the way. Maybe that's why I feel this pain. That's why it's even more painful. So I'm single and I'm very miserable. Now I'm almost 40. I feel pain. I'm very miserable. Thank you for listening. If you have any advice for me or any words of prayer or any words of comfort, please send it to me. This is my story.
Right. Many women do suffer things as this, but they don't get to talk about it. They are so much ashamed, to come up to say, yes, I used my money, sponsored a man, sponsored my marriage, blah, 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 got a house for a man, feed a man, and blah, blah, blah. The man did this or that to me. Women are so ashamed to talk about things like this. But men, they are the ones constantly on social media, elsewhere, writing and posting. I brought her to the UK. She abandoned me. I used up my money. I paid her school fees, sponsored her in the university, youth service, and blah, blah, blah. She left me. Now look at this very story. What I want to say in essence is this. It is very difficult to buy an African man over, especially those ones from Nigeria. You see, Nigerian men, using your money to sponsor a Nigerian man, feed a Nigerian man, shelter a Nigerian man, put him in the house as your wife, in quotes, is something that is very, very unrealistic to the Nigerian culture. Sorry, she did not say Nigeria in particular. Africa, people were angry that she should have mentioned the country. Yes, but I'm not saying he's a Nigerian man, but I'm just telling you what is obtainable among Nigerians. Africa, most Africans, I don't know about other countries. Some men in other African countries might be women rapper, but not for a Nigerian man in particular, especially those ones from the eastern part of Nigeria. I've shared a story here about my friend, a lady who brought her man over from Nigeria in the past. They've been together. That was in 2013. They've been together in the last 12 years and it's working out for them. Yes, God bless that man for staying put despite all that my friend did and blah, 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 and he mellowed down. He is a Nigerian man with so much difference and he's progressing in his career and everything, loving his family. Despite the delay they had in childbearing after they had their first child, who is currently 8 years to 9 years old, they haven't got another one. But to the glory of God, another one is on the way, after a long period of time. So it is very hard buying an African man over. Yes, you cannot say that you are miserable. It was a bad investment per se. Proposing to an African man is something that is very uncultured to them, Nigerian men in particular. Asking a Nigerian man out, moving forward, It's just like you pushing a man to say, okay, tell me what you think about this relationship. Where is it leading us? Are we becoming, a couple or something like that? That man, even if he says yes to you, he would go behind you to think about it. It relates to his friends in order to seek proper advice or something like that. They get scared when a woman is too pushy forward about commitment. Marriage is a big commitment. It's not something men want to easily go into. And in this present time of Japa season, anybody is willing to marry you. Anybody is willing to say yes. Hence, you have come from the overseas. You have something doing, a hardworking lady. You have a house. You have Bali. A man is willing to say yes. You see on social media, they say yes to all those grannies, great-great-grandmas, Amadiohas, mothers. Talk more of a young, beautiful, charming, and succulent, hardworking lady as you are. Anybody can easily say yes. So we have to be really careful when dealing with men back in Africa, pushing too forward. It is uncultured, because she said she made her intention known to this man. After staying for like a few weeks in Africa, she made her intention known. The man also said, yes, now waiting I define me this. When man don't hear your accent, you just speak sopre. And you must have, you said you've been in abroad since you were 12. That means you must be as honest as everything else, because people who were raised in abroad, they are always honest to tell it the way it is. Yeah, I know you would just go straight to say, yes, I am raised abroad, I've been here and I'm working, I got a house, I got a car, the man would say, hey, now I am ready to commit. Before she could even make her intentions known to this man, the man would have said, yes, God has sent me my wife. Abroad, here I come finally. It is my time to shoot, and I must shoot rightly. I wouldn't miss it. So this is to some extent what happened. And to the woman who actually snatched this man from this lady, the divorcee, single mom, and you promised to like pay her ×2 of this. Man, the measure you give, Abi, is the measure you will receive, is it? Yeah. So the same way this our African brother has treated this beautiful succulent lady, definitely that's gonna be the same way he's gonna treat you. Our African men, they don't settle for less. Once they get what they are looking for, view, they are gone. But a couple of them are quite trustworthy, don't get me wrong. Okay, so leave your advice in the comment section for this our sister. Yes, it is quite a pity. The Lord has got you. You can pick up your pieces. You have your job, you have your house, you have, I know it's not all that it takes. Every woman in their 30s, even late 20s, nobody wants to stay alone. Even the men as well. Talk more of women. But sometimes we shouldn't show desperation to this men. If they know that this is what we want for real, they will use it against us. Yes, So this is it for this very content. I wish you all the best. Learn to pray, learn to hold on to God, go to church. Men are everywhere in the church, pub, clubs, on the streets and everywhere. We just have to be careful not to be too forward about things like this. Christmas is around the corner. Play your card very well. Yes. Thank you for watching, and bye for now. It's time for school run. Let me go get my boy.